Hi, this is Jesse Liberty for Telerik. Today we're going to take a look at the RadSparkLine. RadSparkLine is an information graphic which is characterized by being small, lightweight, and highly performant. To get started, let's open up Visual Studio, create a new project. Let's call that RadSparkline.GettingStarted. Accept the Silverlight 5. And when the Telerik configuration wizard opens, we're going to choose charting and data visualization. And they will bring along their dependent references. To begin, let's open up the XAML. I'm going to start by adding a stack panel because there are a few types of RadSparkline. I'd like to look at them all together, stacked one above the next. Let's begin with the Telerik LinearSparkline. We'll set a few simple attributes such as a margin, height, and width, and we'll give this control a name. Let's go ahead and save that, and then we can come over to the code behind, which is going to be in mainpage.xaml.cs. We need a method to initialize our sparklines. So we'll put that call in the constructor and then create a private helper method that will do the initialization. We need some data for our sparklines, so we're going to create a random number generator, and then let's create a list of doubles that will hold our data. Now we're just going to create 20 doubles at random, so we'll put that into a for loop. And in the body of the for loop, we will add to our data collection random numbers between -100 and +100, and then we will assign that collection to be the item source for our sparkline. Let's go ahead and run that and take a look at what we get with these values. And you can see a trend line with an implicit but not an explicit axis and zero line. It just gives a sense of the movement of our values. Let's take a look at adding another kind of sparkline that can also be very valuable for examining values and the movement of values, and that is the ScatterSparkLine. And we'll go ahead and give this its name ScatterSparkLine. Go over to the code behind and assign to ScatterSparkLine's item source the same data set. Let's run that, and now you can see the same data displayed in two ways, one as a line and the other as a scatter graph. A third way of displaying data is with a RadAreaSparkline. The RadAreaSparkline, as you'll see, fills in the area inside of the data points. Let's go ahead and tell our new AreaSparkline that its item source is the same set of data. Run that. And with the AreaSparkline, the zero line is much more apparent. And you can see the values that are above and below filled in, although if you compare it with the linear one on top, they are showing the same data, as is the scatter. A fourth kind of sparkline available is a ColumnSparkLine. Rather than displaying this as a line, it's going to display it as a series of columns, each representing a data point. Let's assign to our new ColumnSparkLine the same data we have been using, and we can see that data now represented also as a set of columns, the height representing the value, a higher column representing a larger number, and you can notice also the zero line. There is one more type for us to consider, and that is the WinLossSparkline. A win-loss sparkline indicates only whether a value is positive, that's a win, or negative, that's a loss. To see that at work, let's go in and set up the item source for our win-loss sparkline to the same data we've been using all along, and then we'll run the application and look closely at the correlation between the win-loss and the column. The column shows the value as a height. With win-loss, it's either all the way win or all the way lose, depending on whether the value is positive or negative. I hope you've seen how easy it is to get started with RadSparkLine. For Telerik, this is Jesse Liberty. I look forward to talking with you again very soon.